Hello stock traders, I hope all of you survived that roller coaster ride that was Wednesday's trading day. Wow, it was crazy. There was one part of the day where I was up over 10%. I was so excited all to see that vanish and come up with a small loss. The market really dipped there towards the end of the day. The S&P 500 is now negative for the month of January, and so it was an interesting day. I feel very fortunate to get out with a small loss. I believe in my strategies, so I know that my stocks are good, and I've had some terrific gains. Hopefully you survived that, and it's really important. You know what gives you peace of mind as a trader is that if all the stocks that you're in, you have a reason for being in them. You have a reason for being in them, and you've done your due diligence, and you've done your research, and you have a strategy attached to it, rather than just randomly chasing something. There's some stocks that have really gone crazy, but when is the end? You know, what is the exit strategy? It's so difficult to plan those type of things. So that's why it's so important to develop a strategy and stick with it, and then also to track your trades. I believe in this heavily, tracking your trades, and I track it by strategy. I will track each and every one, and if there's a strategy that just isn't working, I'd be honest with myself and move away from that strategy because my portfolio can't handle it. For example, the PQEFF run-up play in the past has been absolutely fantastic for me. But in tracking my trades, I realized once we got into 2020 with the pandemic and how the FDA wasn't visiting facilities, that I was not having success with that strategy any longer. And so I made the tough decision not to do it, but that's what you have to do. You have to be real. You have to be real with yourself, and you got to track everything that you're doing. Now, my insider swing play works almost always. There's only very few times where it doesn't work, and so that's why I like it so much. But let's get into the video. I've got lots of things to cover. I'm going to, first of all, start with what happened on Wednesday, and then give you a new top 7 list. Okay, so if you had the top 7 list from yesterday's video, and you had each stock evenly, you would have had a 4.32% loss. This was a challenging day on the stock market, and some of those insider picks did not do well. We'll kind of cover those and then cover some new ones that are in here. Personally, I had a 0.76% loss, so a small loss today. You know, not every day can be green. That's just what you learn. Even with the best stock strategies, a 70% win rate is pretty phenomenal, for example. But today just wasn't my day, and it wasn't really a lot of people's day on the market. Month to date, if you were following this list closely, it is at an 8.87% gain, so much and much better than the S&P 500, so it's doing well. Year to date, so far this month, personally, I'm at a 28.11% gain because I use more strategies than just my insider swing play in the standard and premium rooms of our Discord. If you're interested in looking for a good group, we have a fantastic group. We have a link in the description down below with different levels and different tiers. I cover all the things that we sold in those different tiers just so that you understand the kind of gains that we have, and so I cover all the sales from the different standard, premium, and basic. So here we go. So in the premium room, we sold our Apple calls. This was an earnings run-up play, and this one did really, really well. This is AAPL, sold my calls early this morning for 134.46% gain. That was on call options, and so that's how I was able to get that. Pretty great investment, so that one was a really good one. The next one was CALX, and this was also an earnings run-up play. Sold that for a 44% gain, very good. And sold early because it hit this ridiculous price, and I didn't think I would ever see it again, and so I had a limit sell set up on it just in case it got there, and I couldn't believe it actually reached it. But GNPR sold for a 194.6% gain. That was my big gain sale for the day. In the standard group, we had some really good stuff. A swing play that we had was SLB puts. Sold that for a 74% gain early this morning, and that was put options. And then a BB day trades. I had 2 of those. Had one is the one I covered in our group, and another one I just kind of did on my own. Sold BB. It was a day trade for 53.14% gain. Was able to buy call options on that, and that was pretty fantastic. I had a personal trade on BB that I did, and that was for a 112% gain. So no losers today in either the standard or the premium group. There was definitely some losers, just not ones that we parted ways with because we haven't hit our exit point with that strategy yet. And so I have very specific time frames and things that I'm looking for when I exit a stock. I don't just arbitrarily enter and exit a stock. I have a plan. And it's important to have a plan. In the basic room, had absolutely no sales. No sales from the top 7. We added some extras and some of the others, but let's get to those. So let's start with the others. This is OTC stocks. So you have to have a broker like Schwab or TD Ameritrade in order to trade these. And so I have a Schwab account, and I trade these type of stocks out also trade lots of warrants in my Schwab account. Because I can't do that on Webull, I like to use Webull for just about everything else. If you are looking for a great broker, Webull is a fantastic broker for anything covered on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. I really like it. It's great to use options with, cryptocurrency, so on and so forth. If you're looking for a powerful broker, I highly recommend that you check it out. We have a link in the description down below. You get free stocks right now when you sign up and when you deposit money, so it's very good. Okay, so let's get to it. The first is YAYO, and we've had this one for a little bit. On Wednesday, this finished down 5.74%. My average in it is $1.97. Since calling this out, it is up 16.90%, so a pretty good 3-day investment. We've had this about 3 days since I called this out in our group. Okay, the next is BSPK, and this one is not doing great so far. This one is down on Wednesday at 7.84%. My average in it is 9 cents a share. Since calling this out, it is down 21.28%, so not that great, but I do expect that it'll turn around. Great insider activity on it, so I thought that that was a really good one. The next one, and this one is brand new to the list. This is CCEL, and this has had insider activity over and over again. On Wednesday, this finished down 1.54%. My average in it is $8.50. Since calling this out, it is down 5.88% for myself. And the next is PQEFF, and on Wednesday, this finished up 4.17%. I think this one has a lot further to go. My average in it is 6 cents a share, and since calling this out, I am down 3.85%. So a lot of these stocks I'm down in because it was a rough day. So these are stocks that are traded on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange that have had insider activity that I find significant. So here we go. The first is ADVM Biotech, ADVM, and this has been on the list for a little bit. On Wednesday, however, it finished down 5.66%. My average in it is $12.46. Since calling this out, it is down 2.41%. Two directors purchased shares in open market. Very bullish transactions with their own money. Analysts have an average target price of $25.22. So I love to see insider activity and a high analyst average target, and that's what ADVM Biotech has. And so I have a certain time frame that I will hold this depending upon how strong the insider activity was and how high the average analyst target is. Number 6 is Driven Brands, DRVN. On Wednesday, this finished down 3.13%. My average in it is $28.47. Since calling this out, it is up 2.32%, calling it out in our Discord. The president of Platform Services bought shares, and also the EVP and president of Car Wash Division bought shares in open market. That was enough for me to want to go into this. This is a brand new stock, so this is a recent IPO. Insiders are really loading up, and there's been quite a few insider purchases on this day after day, and so this has been really good, and hopefully it will continue. All right, number 5 is Q Biopharma, CUE, and on Wednesday this finished down 7.14%. My average in it's $14.91. This had really strong insider activity, but it has not reacted. Since calling this out, it is down 12.83%, but the chief medical officer bought shares in open market. I love it when chief medical officers buy shares. This one is not doing great, but it has a really high analyst target of $31.17. That's the average analyst target. Between that and the chief medical officer buying shares, I think there's something brewing here in Q Biopharma. Hopefully that comes to light here soon, and it could be another big runner for us. We've had quite a few of those. All right, number 4 is RKDA. This is Arcadia Biosciences. On Wednesday, this finished down 5.18%. My average in it is $3.10. Since calling this out, it is down 5.48%. So this is another one that is not doing that great, but should turn around. Analysts have an average target price of $8.67 on this, so that's almost a 300% upside. So we would sure love to see that. But the CFO, CEO, and CTO all bought shares. These were older transactions, but this usually signals that they're reporting older transactions because they participated in the offering. And the offering on the Arcadia Biosciences just closed, and it was announced that it was closed, but we have not gotten that bounce yet. So if you're looking to get a good value, I really do think this is a good value. I think it's way undervalued, and apparently analysts feel that way too, having an average target price of $8.67. Number 3, we have FAST, F-A-S-T. This is Fastenal. And on Wednesday, this finished up 0.45%. During the market day, right around 2 o'clock, you saw this thing really start to move upwards. You're probably asking yourself, why did that have such a big move right at that point? Well, Michael Anschis bought shares in open market right at that time that was reported, and the stock went from being negative and having really kind of a bad day to finishing just barely positive. It just shows you how insider activity can really move a stock. And so insider activity now 2 different days on different occasions that have been reported. My average in this is $48.32 since calling this out is down 2.92%. But with more insider activity, I feel confident that that particular officer is going back for more, so it's worth me holding for a little longer, and so I like that. And so I think Fastenal should do great, should have a good day tomorrow, especially if we get a pretty decent day on the market. I think even a break-even day on the market, I think that Fastenal will shoot upwards. All right, number 2 is Fuel Cell Energy, FCEL. And on Wednesday, this finished down 0.32%. My average in it is $20.99. Since calling this out, it is up 1.24%, so just a little bit up. The CEO purchased shares in open market. It was a good transaction, really nice size, and so I like Fuel Cell for that reason. And number 1, and this one is brand new to the list, number 1 is CYTH, Cyclotherapeutics. And on Wednesday, this finished up 5.77%. It reacted really well to the insider activity. Called this out right away in our Patreon and our Discord group that we have a link for down below. My average in it is $6.43. Since calling this out is up 2.64%. It was already up in pre-market, but Marcus Seeger, director, bought shares in open market on Wednesday morning, and so we latched onto that. This has a really high analyst average target. This one has an average target price by analyst at $12 a share. There's quite a bit of upside, and so I think that this stock will grow and do very well for us. So we shall see, but I think it's going to do great. I do a lot of work for this list, so if you could please do me a favor, please hit that most amazing and wonderful like button. Also, if you haven't done so before, please subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you get notified when one of these videos comes out. The insiders is always the news before the news, so we're starting to have more insider activity, so we should start to see more news events. We're starting to get through quite a few of the earnings reports, and so we should see a nice move upwards, especially with more insider activity, and should increase as we get into February. I wish all of you the best on the market. Please be careful out there. Have a reason and a strategy for everything that you buy and for everything that you sell. Developing a good strategy will make you money. Have a fantastic trading day tomorrow, and Raythoven out.